All right, rock and roll. Here we are. St. Patrick's Day. We made it. I don't really know what that means, but I'm just going to applaud us. It's almost 2 months of the Trump administration. I didn't think I was going to make it 20 minutes. Somehow I've almost made it 2 months. Welcome to the Scorched Earth podcast for March 17th, 2025. I'm your host, John, and if you could, hit that like and subscribe button. I appreciate the people who are adding us. It really means a lot to us and to our little thing we're trying to do here. And if you could, leave some comments. Live on the wild side. That's what I say. You know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to start out with a little St. Patrick's Day joke, okay? Now, why should you never iron a 4-leaf clover? Because you don't want to press your luck. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta! All right, it's a bad joke to start out. Don't worry, it's going to get worse from here, all right? I'm going to talk about my weekend a little bit. We already know the Costco thing. So, real quick, one of the employees recognized me from going to the food court too much, which literally is humiliation on humiliation, okay? I really do have to get a life, okay? So I go to In-N-Out today. Now, if you don't know what In-N-Out is, I'm sure everybody pretty much has an idea, but if you're not on the West Coast or one of the states that has them, I think they're only in 13 states or something. I could be off. I'm not really fascinated by it that much. It's a real basic hamburger place, right? They have very few items. They got a hamburger, they got a cheeseburger, they got a double-double, which is really an innovative name because they put 2 pieces of meat and 2 pieces of cheese. Wow. They got a French fry, and like I pondered with super producer Stacy, like, why don't they have a large French fry? And God love that girl. When I bring that up to her, she's like, well, because the regular fry's enough. Well, hello? Do you see me? There's a reason I look like Shrek, okay? I'm not watching the calories. I am that guy, when I'm eating, you can literally see me getting bigger. Like they're inflating me like I'm a balloon. Like they got an air hose in my butt, and I'm literally getting big, right? Stacy, I am gaining the weight she loses. She's very petite, she's very athletic, she's very muscular, and when she says, well, small fry is all you need, I'm like, what? Hello? Hello? Have you not seen me? Come on, girl. Come on. We're not all trying to live on 40 calories a day, all right? So I go to In-N-Out, and this really happened, okay? I wish I could embellish it. It was actually a little worse. So we got 2 lines, and there's 8-10 people in line. And look, this hamburger place is truly basic. There's really only 3 or 4 items on the entire menu. Yeah, there's some secret menu, blah, 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 that the Egyptians willed them. I don't even know what that is, okay? But whatever. There's only like literally 2 different types of hamburger, 1 different type of cheeseburger, vice versa, whatever it is, and then a fry. That's it. There's drinks, shakes, and drinks. That's it, right? Literally, there's 8 people in line. And like everybody, they're playing on their phone. And I do not understand. This is my lament on the fast food world, okay? They're in Subway, they're in Taco Bell, they're in McDonald's, and you're waiting behind them in line patiently. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You know, you're looking at your phone. Dude, I can't wait till I can order, whatever that is. And then they get up there and go, oh, I just don't know what I'm going to order. Like, for the 5 effing minutes you were in that line, couldn't you have figured out what your stomach wanted? And then and this happened today, the lady with only 3 items on the menu said, "What's good here?" My God. You know what'd be good? You to get your ass out of this place. Head over to Chick-fil-A. Oh, they're closed on Sunday? I don't care. Just go over. Knock on the door. They'll eventually answer. I literally heard this lady get up there and go, "What's good here?" Wow. Okay. That happened. It's like going to Taco King and going, "What should I order?" I don't know. Chalupa? So she's over there and asking what she can get. I get the other lady, who I don't even know where this lady came from. I think she wanted to pay in Bitcoin or something. She's up there having this long, drawn-out discussion with the cashier. And then the cashier calls the manager over. Wait for this. And I kind of got a little snippet of it at the end. Literally, I've been waiting 10 minutes at this point. And you all know when you're in fast food, literally 2 minutes seems like a lifetime. We are spoiled as Americans. We want everything now. We want it hot. We want it, we want everything now. That's how we became the greatest country in the world, right? Because we put pressure on the fast food industry. Yeah. All right, John, it's St. Patrick's Day. Maybe you shouldn't have drank so much before you got going, but I can't help it. I'm rocking the green. And I hear the manager come up and go, "Yes, we can put 2 grilled onions on your burger." I didn't even know it was a thing. I didn't know they ever said no at In-N-Out. I mean, literally, you could say, "Could you put some broccoli on there?" And they'll go, "Yeah, sure." They are very customer oriented, whatever the customer wants. And that's another thing too. Like, they have so many people there. They are literally prowling around like sharks in the ocean. Like, if you finish your burger or whatever, they come up and go, "Hey, can we take your container?" Yeah, I got fries in it, but yeah, I don't, what do you say? They're being nice. They're not being obsequious, but like, I know what that means. I can't pronounce Kiev, but I can say obsequious. And I'm like, okay, all right, whatever that is. So I see the lady, she gets her order. She can get double grilled onions on her burger. The manager's okayed it. Then he says, "Okay, your order is $6.92. Yeah. Here we go. She breaks out the change purse. I am not joking you. She breaks out the change purse. Like, that's what my grandma used to carry. I'm going to carry my nickels and dimes here and whatever. I'm like, what? She opens up the change purse. And let's say it's $6.90. I forgot what it was. Blackout trauma. I don't want to remember it. It puts me in a bad place. I don't like getting angry. Even I got to laugh at that mother effer. And she opens up her wallet and gives him the $6. And I can see she's literally got like 5 or 6 more ones. I don't know if she was just working at the club or, pole dancing or whatever, right? Girl's got to make a living, right? Then she breaks out the change purse and starts counting out the 92. I'm like, oh my God. This isn't happening. So now I'm thinking the other cashier, I'm going to be able to get over there. And literally behind these 2 ladies, there are only 2 cashiers. I've probably been waiting after my initial 5 minutes of hell, trying to act like I'm looking on my phone for something when I'm really not. I just want to eat. You can tell that's a priority with me. She's over there and she orders, and I'm like, oh, thank God I get to get over there and make my order and just find a place to sit. She gets ready and then she goes, "Hey, what's that?" And they have these things called animal style, and they put some cheese and they put some spread on the fries, and I don't know what else they put. I've never had it. It's on a secret menu, whatever it is. So they go, "Oh, that's animal fries." She goes, wow, how much are those? And the lady says, I don't know, $4 or whatever she says. And then she says, and I'm leaning that way because that's my register. I'm going to get there. This lady with the change purse, she's looking at the dates on her nickels because she doesn't want to give up anything before 1965. Oh, here's it. Oh, no, that's a 63. I'm going to keep it. Let me look at the purse again. Christ's sake, woman. Come on. I mean, at that point, I want to throw $1 down for her. So I look over at the other lady and she goes, oh, okay, that's the price. How many calories are in it? I'm like, Jesus Christ, honey. You're seeing they got double layers of cheese. They got spread on there. They got onions on there. Trust me, if you've got to ask the calories, you don't need it. You don't. I don't trust anybody who asks how many calories are in X, Y, and Z. Okay? You're nothing but an anorexic mofo. Okay? Join the colony of fat people, which I am leading. I'm leading the charge, okay? Christ's sake. And I'm looking at her, and I was stunned. And then the lady goes, well, I don't know. And she says, well, don't legally you have to tell us how many calories. And that is a law in California. I think it's pretty widespread around the nation. But I'm like, wow. Now that cashier has to go back and find the poor manager who's trying to recover from the double grilled onions on the burger and ask him how many calories. I see him walk out. At this point, I am looking for straws to gouge my eyes out. At this point, I wish Trump put back the paper straws so at least I could see something. Literally 20 minutes to order. And if you've ever been in In-N-Out, especially on a busy day, no joke, you're going to get number 82 and there'll be, calling number 16. 16, please. You're like, oh, well, maybe it's a double register. And then 2 minutes later, number 17, number 18, please. Please come up and get your food. And I'm like, oh my God. Tutankhamun is going to come back before I get my order. Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm sure you've all dealt with it. You know, like people who don't know how to order. I mean, come on, man. Really, this should be a life thing. But I'm not going to do that to you, okay? I'm not going to inundate you with twice. I also had a little tuffle doing my short over at the Tesla thing today. Some of those people came out and go, hey, what are you videotaping? I go, none of your business. And they go, hey, you can't use the Tesla logo in the background. I go, it's in public domain. Cover it up. Oh, no, you can't. Yeah, okay. The 18-year-old lawyer. Yeah. Right there, buddy. Right there. Hey, I think I'm already at the 10 minutes, okay? So let's talk about the demarcation line. You know, so this weekend, Trump says he deported approximately 300 Venezuelan alleged gang members to a prison in El Salvador. Okay. That's going to be political red meat. I get it. You know, that your base is going to love it. People are going to love it. The problem is last week, a federal judge ordered a 14-day stay against him doing that. Now, he's claiming he's using wartime powers to be able to do this. And obviously, to me, you know, we've talked about what happens when he doesn't obey the judiciary when it doesn't go his way. Here we are. Here's the moment, right? He tried to usurp it. No, he just straight out violated it and said, I'm not going to do that. And he sent him, put him on a plane and said, whatever, you know, you can't stop it. And he put him on a military plane. I guess that's part of the Wartime Act. And, you know, as being a Biden supporter like I am, there was literally almost 100 that I could research, 100 different judicial edicts and orders that were stayed by federal judges, and a lot of them came out of, like we talked about yesterday, that West Texas judge who's very conservative. The Texas Attorney General runs over there, files a stay, and it applies to the entire nation. Okay? This federal judge had the authority and autonomy to put a 14-day stay on it. And Trump just said, no, I'm not going to abide by it. I'm just going to do what I want. What's the recourse? I don't know. Do we go to the Supreme Court? And if we go to the Supreme Court and they agree that he was supposed to wait 14 days, and I know the court's stacked against us, but, at the back of my mind, I think they're going to do what's right by the Constitution, not what the will of one wannabe dictator is. I guess we're going to see. And to me, there's a lot of ambiguity on what's going on out there. But here we have a real case of him basically putting his middle finger out at a federal judge and a 14-day stay. Where does that lead us? I don't know. And I hope it doesn't lead us where we all fear it is going to go. I do think there is a part of the lexicon where we on the left are so scared that we perceive things that actually haven't happened. There is that. That does happen. But for the most part, I think our fears are absolutely realized and validated just by his actions. This is a case in point. The ACLU filed the lawsuit. It was upheld. He got a temporary stay, and he basically just said, I'm going to put him on a military plane and send him to El Salvador, which I don't even understand the El Salvador thing, but okay, I guess that's what we're going to do. We're going to get to something also about him putting his finger up against the law pretty soon. Let's talk about odd things in the news. The Alaskan volcano Mount Spur is likely to erupt. Geologists say that it's very possible within the next 2 weeks, Anchorage is going to suffer ash and debris that comes from the exploding volcano. That's what volcanoes do. It's like me when I eat too much, I explode. Okay? So don't hate. Don't hate. So the Alaska Volcano Observatory has been monitoring the situations. There's increased levels of methane. There's seismic activity. There's all the things that happened over in Hawaii a couple years ago when the volcano erupted. They have patterns. There's science that indicates things are most likely. Is it an absolute? No, it's not. Okay? But now, Alaska has more, quote unquote, active volcanoes than any state. Hawaii has a couple, but they're not as big, obviously, as Alaska, right? Makes sense. Well, herein lies the rub, as the Bard would say. Doge has eliminated the Alaska Volcano Observatory and has also canceled all the leases on the buildings for the U.S. geological offices in the entire state of Alaska. All right. I guess the next move is just to get the video camera out, the phone, start monitoring it, and maybe we can get a TikTok video to assess whether or not the volcano is going to explode. Yeah. You know, we live in the greatest country in the world. Our government owes us to keep us safe. And if they know, if they have the ability to find out if a volcano is going to erupt and threaten the lives of innocent civilians, they damn well right should be doing it. Don't be using this "we're going to cut costs" bullshit, because that's what it is. At that point, put the dollar figure on the human beings. You know, we're seeing catastrophic storms in the South and Midwest. I believe the number I saw tonight was 29 people have already passed away. What is going to be the response of FEMA? What's coming? FEMA's getting cut. We know it. You know, there's stipulations being put on aid to helping people in Los Angeles after the devastating fires. You know, do the people in South Carolina, Alabama, Nebraska, the typically conservative states, are they going to put riders on there? Are they going to put appendages? Are they going to put stipulations? I'm going to take a flyer and say probably not. You know, the people of Alaska deserve from our government as a state in this union, in this democracy, to know if their lives are going to be threatened. They don't need the goddamn leases to be canceled because we got to save a couple bucks. You know, I have a funny feeling if there was electric charging stations or a Tesla factory right by that volcano, these leases wouldn't have been canceled. Just saying. And I'm just saying. And I'm just saying. All right. Getting into maybe one of our last stories. The White House is considering a deal to let Oracle run TikTok. Oracle is one of the biggest software companies in the world. They're based out of Palo Alto, California. I'm telling you sincerely, I've researched this probably for an hour or two. Yeah, I know. Trust me. That's a lot when I have to go without eating. That I don't understand how Congress, bipartisan, it was literally as many Republicans as Democrats in both houses, supported the law to make them sell TikTok to an American investor to get the algorithm out of the hands of the Chinese Communist Party. Okay, I get it. Biden signed it. It was actually initiated by the Republicans in Congress last year. That's back when Trump was waffling on whether or not to have TikTok be banned or sold or whatever name you want to put on it. It wasn't until the last 2 months that it really started rolling and he saw the benefits of the TikTok world. So they're talking about Oracle running it. I don't understand how he can come into office. Now, the ban was supposed to take effect the day before he got into office. Okay? He got in a day later, and then he just said, well, the law doesn't apply. We're gonna put a 90-day hold on it. Well, how do you do that? You know, I live in California, and towards the end of December, you always see these things of the laws that are coming into effect on January 1st. You know, this automotive thing, they lower the legal limit for drinking, you know, whatever. There's a slew of laws, right? But I've never seen our governor say, you know, I don't like that law. Let's just put a 90-day stay on it. How do you do that when it's been passed in a Democratic House, a Democratic Senate? I'm talking as a philosophy of government. It was a bipartisan thing, but I'm just talking about just the general concept of voting on a bill. And then all of a sudden somebody comes in who wants to be king, the boy who wants to be king, and then he says, no, we got a 90-day stay. All right. So now we're talking, J.D. Vance is running it, so I know it's all going to get taken care of really, really well. I got to say, I still chuckle at seeing him get booed at the Kennedy Center the other night. That turncoat mother effer. But the worries are, and this is in the Republican Party also, that even if Oracle runs it, China is going to have access to all the data and to the algorithm that they're running. Now, we sit there and I wonder, is it really a thing? I mean, I don't... Look, big tech has all our data, okay? To me, and this is just me, and I know this is probably the anti-Democrat thing or whatever, I think the reason they're all after TikTok, and I understand it's a Republican platform, I get it, it is, straight up. No argument. Everybody I know who's Republican is immersed deep into the swamp with TikTok. Oh, I love my TikTok. I love my TikTok. I love my TikTok. All right. All right, whatever. But I do think a lot of this movement is by the other tech companies because TikTok is a lot more effective at getting to people. They got a better algorithm. They're getting advertisers that aren't going to YouTube or Instagram or Facebook. Big tech doesn't like anybody breaking into their club, and obviously TikTok is. Now, them being a conduit for information for the Chinese Communist Party, that's not cool either. I'm not a big fan of that. I ain't sending Putin or Xi birthday cards, okay? I'm sending them a middle finger. I'm down with that, okay? I remember back in the day when the Republicans actually didn't like the Russians or the Chinese. Oh, okay. Got a new guy in here. Yeah, go ahead. Let him have all our information. No big deal. Hey, while you're at it, can you get those plans to the stealth bomber over to us? Yeah, send them FedEx. Don't worry about it. We got that. I think it's actually DHL, but yeah, here we go. All right. I think our final story of the day is going to be Kari Lake. Kari Lake is truly like that kooky sister-in-law of yours that you just can't get rid of. And she talks crazy, and when you think she's talked so much crazy, she takes crazy to a new level. She's literally like the sister-in-law who's strung out on lithium, and then she takes a double dose of Xanax, and then she knocks it off with a double shot of bourbon at the end of the day. And man, it's like she's talking in tongues. And you're like, oh my God. Maybe it's time for me to take those straws that I was going to put into my eyes and put them into my eardrums. Hey, it's all intricately weaved here. It's all weaved in beautifully. It's almost like I put some thought into it. Or maybe I just got lucky. Who knows? But Kari Lake lost a Senate race that she should have won. She did the real smart thing and attacked John McCain in Arizona, where he is still very beloved. And then she came back 2 years later and lost the governorship because she took the stand again on, I don't like John McCain, and women don't really have the right to their own bodies. Good one. Good one, honey. I believe one of those races she lost by 10,000 votes. All right, there you go. So now Trump, because I guess he wanted to have some crazy, but he didn't want to have it too close. So he had her run. He appointed her to run. Excuse me. When I talk about Kari Lake, I got to start coughing. The Voice of America. Now, the Voice of America has been something that's been around basically since the end of World War II. And we have journalists and scholars who go on there, and they basically preach the American system over the radio to other countries. Africa, Central America, here's how we do it in America, blah, blah, blah. Our Tokyo Rose, whatever you want to say, okay? You want to call it propaganda? All right. Is that a bad thing? I don't know. I think more countries, more people that like America, I think that's a good thing. That's just me. I think when you need favors, it helps if people are friendly towards you. But maybe I'm wrong. So they have literally dismantled, her and Trump dismantled the office. Obviously, I think it happened a little quicker than she thought it would. So Friday, they laid off 1,000 journalists who were the voice of America. Now, what are they doing? They're running elevator music on the channel 24/7. Boy, that's going to be great. That's going to be utterly fantastic. Man, we ought to get a lot of harmony, a lot of sympathy, a lot of empathy from the rest of the world. Hey, thank you. Thank you, brother. Love you. All right. That's the podcast. Don't be sad. Be happy because we shared it together. I need you. I love you all. We're in this together. We're fighting for democracy. May be a little dark, but we're going to win. We're going to persevere, and we're going to do it because of people like you. Don't be sad. We'll be back tomorrow. I have a little joke. Hit that subscribe and like button. I got a little joke, though, to start off your St. Patrick's Day. How does an Irish person tell you a dance party is upstairs? They say, the jig is up. Okay. Maybe you should be sad because that joke sucked. All right. If you could, leave some comments. I love y'all, and I'll see you tomorrow.